Yeah, has anybody read in the in the newspaper about this guy? I think it started about 9 months ago up in Washington, a guy who went on an all-potato diet. He did it out of protest. He was a potato farmer, went on an all-potato diet out of protest because everybody said such bad things about potatoes, and so he went on a diet for 60 days of nothing but potatoes, basically nothing but potatoes. And what happens is he lost 35 pounds and cholesterol dropped like 60 points. You know, typical things that happen when people go on starch-based diets. And this made national headlines. It was all over the internet and so on. And people thought it was something original. Actually, what he did was he copied behaviors that have been done by millions of people, not out of choice, and also an experiment that was published in 1928. In 1928, they did an experiment. I don't think you could get it by an ethics board today because they would consider it unethical to do these to people. What they did in this experiment in the 1920s is they took a man who was 25, a woman who was 28. They were very physically active. They were what you would call marathon runners. And they housed them in a situation where they controlled all their food. And what they fed them was an all-potato diet. Basically, all they ate was potatoes for 6 months. Now, that's not entirely true. They ran into a problem. The problem is because they were so physically active, they had to add energy to their diet. So what they added was oil to the potatoes. Now, when you add oil, all you add is fat. You add no vitamins, no minerals, no fiber, no protein, nothing but oil. And so you dilute out the nutritional qualities of the potato. That was their diet for 6 months. Now, you can go to Google as soon as you get home. You can enter all potato diet and Kon, K-O-N, who's the author, or you can enter this scientific reference. And what will come up as the first entry in your Google search is this particular study. And you click on it, and it's free. You can read it. And when you read through the study, you'll find something interesting. At the end of the study, they make two profound statements about this man and woman. They say, number one, they did not tire of the all-potato diet. They had no desire for change. I can relate to that. I mean, I could easily live on a diet of potatoes. In fact, my favorite food when I was growing up was mashed potatoes, peas, and corn, all mixed together with some brown gravy. Of course, you know where the brown gravy came from. But these days, Mary still makes that for me. Still one of my favorite evening meals. They did not tire of the all-potato diet. Number two, they declared them in excellent health. The way they stated it was, even though they were both physically active, they were described as in good health on a diet in which the nitrogen protein was practically solely derived from potatoes. This shouldn't surprise you. I mean, there have been populations of tens of millions of people who had no choice but to live on all-potato diets. At the turn of the century, between the 1800s and 1900s in Poland and Russia, that's all they had was potatoes. There have been many populations of people who have lived on diets solely of starches, not only out of choice, but out of necessity. All right. So the strongest argument I have for you that the right diet for you is a starch-based diet is the following. And that is that all populations of trim, healthy people throughout all verifiable human history obtained the bulk of their calories from starch. And that's a little confusing, isn't it? So let's go over it one more time. All large, trim, healthy populations of people, okay? All. You start thinking of exceptions. All large populations of trim, healthy people throughout all of verifiable human history obtained the bulk of their calories from starch.